for higher juicy news. Mema Ubibia Akwaba. Latest hot and kwa eramede bremo. Anuti Bomodia say over subscribe to channel. Na while I give video, give us a thumbs up. Nafi share ma wo foforo so na when you be here na wo en semwa ekoso ewo Ghana memo hanum. Afi yembura ye en semwa abeto ye pono so. Inti yes report here about to mama inti.
My challenge is that if UP is coming out of NPP, then what we have now, UP, United Party, then what we have left is a divided party.
Well,
exactly, and then we have which is the divided party.
Hold on. I want you to make the point because no.
UP and DP. Yes, UP and DP.
Let's.
The NPP is now DP.
Thank you. You brought some order to it. Thank you. You look at the candidate. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Edudzi Tamaklo ended on the person of Alan Kyeremanteng as against the decision to come on the ticket of a different political party than the NPP. Musa Dankwa referenced that, and Solo also make the point about the umbrella or the kind of candidature Alan Kyeremanteng was going into the 2024 election. It was an independent candidate. He didn't even go on the ticket of the Movement for Change. Can that really change now that he is coming under the umbrella of a political party? Looking at the person of Alan Kyeremanteng and whether he's going to pose a threat to the NPP and the NDC, because that's one of the objectives, to break the duopoly of the two parties.
Yes, so you're asking, can it change?
Yes.
Yes, in principle, yes. In principle, yes, because you see, there is this thing about human nature, right? There comes a time, human nature loves this variety. You can't run away from it. Like, earlier when I was saying that, you remember last year, I was always doing the smoke. But when you read the social media comment, oh, people, we are tired of the smoke, So we had to now go and look for a jacket and come here. So one thing is very clear, right? That within the next 20 years, this duopoly will break.
20 years?
Yeah, within the next 20 years.
Not the next.
And 2032 would be in my sense of it, reading, talking to other professionals, they feel like, no, we also should come together and then make a go at it. Because, you see, look, let's speak bluntly. I mean, the politicians we've had, is there any extra skill? Any extra abilities? No. You see how Akufo Addo had been touted as the angel, the best that we're yet to get. When he came, you see how he turned out to be the worst. So it is top professionals, the middle class, that, look, this thing is not really that difficult. Actually, it's about personal character, right? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the people in the middle class, I talk to lawyers, accountants, etc. They feel like, no, in the not too distant future, they're also going to step up, and then something would happen. Mm-hmm. Let's not forget, in the past, TUC tried it in the 70s. So the TUC tried it, but that's 70s, over 50 years ago.
Yes.
The fact that it didn't work doesn't mean that it will not work tomorrow. So the key thing is that as we evolve, as the economy gets better and people get jobs, you see, the whole thing is hinged on economic freedom. Right now there are no jobs. So we have a huge patronage system. So you meet people who in private, the kind of things they will tell you, they can't say that in public, because they are scared, job security. So if you're in the government sector, you don't want to be seen entertaining such thoughts. Mm. So it's only those of us in the private sector who can speak freely. So I see that, look, the moment you see the economy making progress, that there is a huge job mobility. You can move from one job to the other. So there's that economic freedom. Our politics will be different. Because you just asked. So let's say, for example, Edudzi and I are here. We are both lawyers, right? So typically, I'm not sure that Edudzi has done something at the bar that is so puts him well ahead of every lawyer he came to meet. No. That today we would say, no, Edudzi should lead us. No, there isn't anything like that. So we are looking at the skill set. So the more we look at the politicians, those of us in the middle class and private sector, then the more we see that they're just like us. But the difference is that they've joined the party. And usually, especially when it comes to elections, etc., you look at it and say that, look, I don't want to risk the vote by giving it to Alan Kyeremanteng. Don't risk. So you see, 2024, I'm happy Musa Dankwa repeated it, was an exceptional situation because we're just hell-bent on making sure that the NPP doesn't come back again. So don't risk giving your vote to Alan, etc. I'm telling you that 2028, Alan will do better. Oh, that one is certain. He will do better because it's almost a given that NDC will not get the votes that they got, that gap. They won't get it in 2028. It's a given.
So it's a given.
It's a given.
Based on what indicators?
Because, you see, it's human nature. As I say, in 2024, we wanted to make sure that, look, NPP doesn't come back. So everybody said, look, let's give it to NDC. It was an exceptional circumstance because Akufo Addo's governance was so stinkingly bad. Stinkingly bad. The lawyer who was said to have prepared for 40 years came and delivered such an abysmal performance and was ably supported by Bawumia. So you see why Bawumia will never be a president of Ghana. That won't happen.
How do you make such an emphatic statement?
Bawumia doesn't have the skill set to be president of Ghana.
Based on your verdict. Based on your verdict. Hold on. No, gentlemen, hold on. See, wait, gentlemen, you see,
it's in your interest to allow
yes,
to pass. Because
exactly.
The more you interject, you give them the opportunity to hammer on it.
Thank you.
That's not in your interest.
Hold on.
You know?
Yes.
Please.
So
that's the person's view.
So one thing is very clear that the theory about variety, okay? And as we've seen that, when it comes to politics, it's actually about character. So more people in the middle class see that they have character, right? It's kind of because now certain things are a given. When it comes to university degree, all those, there are certain constants. So I'm talking about the things that set us apart. So you meet more professionals and they see that, this level of governance, I think I have enough character to be able to help Ghana. So something is going to give. Something will shift. That one is clear. And especially of the Gen Zs not being tied to tribal lines, etc. So we haven't seen our politics evolve fully yet. Even America itself. So we come to the point, Edwin, where I wanted to interject. America has not always been the Republicans and the Democrats. No. In actual fact, you see, this first name, when Jefferson, the third president, formed the Democratic Party, it was actually Democratic Republican. It was a joint name belonging to the Democrat, Democratic Republican. You can Google and see how it turns out. And in their history, other parties have come and won the election. So you hear about the Whigs. The Whigs were very popular in the US and the UK and other people. You see, so it's not a given that NPP, NDC will survive. No, actually it won't happen. It's not in human nature to continue NPP, NDC. No, yes, Dr. Zato said it. Center left, center right. Yes, main ideologies. But the constant thing in human nature is change.
Change is constant.
Change is constant. So that time will come where we would want to change, have something else. And that's why I'm thinking that it's good Alan is starting now. Where he stands the better chance will be 2032. Let him, except that age.
But that would go contrary to your position about age.
Age, yes. So the party thing. So then it's good Solomon is behind the younger ones. Alan may try it in 2028. He won't get it. But by 2032, Alan's party, Cheddar's party, Kwame Bediatuo. Yeah, that's the future. With the Gen Z's coming. Some of us will be supporting because, like I've said, the key things that you look at, ADG and I are lawyers. So you look at ADG, then I look, is this some divine thing? No, a point will come, we'll throw in our hearts. Because we look at it and we see that, no, we can also do it. You meet a lot of lawyers and they're like, it's a question of time. So just mark it. Anybody who tells you that it will always be NDC, NPP has not studied history enough. Just Google the US, Google the UK. You would see that it will come to a time we will be tired. So we just say, look, you know what? I mean, come on. It's the same thing. We are all human beings. We are looking at character. So the character you have, there are other people who also have it, but they are not in the NDC, they are not in the NPP. So let's try the middle. CSOs, etc., will come together, and then it will be
another rise.
Yeah. So that one
of the kind of third force that you talk about.
So the third force, that one is given that someday it will ripen into something. Oh, that definitely. Anybody who tells you that third force will never ripen has not studied history enough.
Perfect.
No.
Professor Ransford Jampo, you see, it's interesting how you make an emphatic statement and the verdict on the political future of some of the persons we are talking about today. And Alan Kyeremanteng to Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia that 2028 is out for them.
Yeah.
Well, Solo and Dr. Zato will not agree with you. But you see, Professor Jampo, he'll be your running mate.
If you don't stand, let's look at 2032.
Yeah, I see. He'll be your running mate. Interesting. Prof Jampo, you see, Musa laid the foundation about how things looked like in 2024, but then was very quick to underscore the fact that things look different this time around. We cannot look at Alan Kyeremanteng as the same person going into 2028. Does he have that mettle to break the duopoly, or he's a spent shell, as some have described him?
Well, if you're looking at what is happening in our political history, it will be an erroneous judgment to describe Alan as somebody who is a spent force. First of all, let us know, in political science, when we say something is a tradition, it means it is a custom, a belief, or a practice that has been handed down from one generation to another over a significant period of time. So the practices and happenings in our Fourth Republic cannot be described as a tradition, yet, because the history of our Fourth Republic is still evolving. We have had a hung parliament before, which never used to be the case. And for the first time in our political history, we have a ruling party that has 2/3 majority in parliament. It has never happened before.
Yeah.
Now, none of the attempted third force leaders, in my view, have the kind of qualities, persona, and pedigree of Alan. And so, in my view, he therefore cannot be relegated to the background. If things work hard, if he works hard,
in your view?
In my view, if he works hard, he can make serious incursion into future elections. The poor performance of third force people cannot be described, like I said, as a political tradition.
Perfect.
Because things are evolving, and if this man succeeds in taking a chunk of votes from the Asante region, and if he succeeds in bringing back the disgruntled NPP people who believe that the party has deviated from its core UP tradition, he will be a force to reckon with in future elections. Let it never be said that Alan was not even popular in his own party. People who say so don't know, they either don't know what happened in their own party, or they are deliberately being oblivious of some of the things that have happened. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. Listen, before, when Edu Buahene failed to win elections, the elections of 1992, do you know that Alan was then the head of the Young Executive Forum? And do you know that he was the one who was actually proposed, not even J. Akufo, he was the one who was actually proposed by those who were actually funding the party, the Young Executive Forum. They proposed him to take over from Edu Buahene. And when he was reluctant about it, he faced the wrath of the funders of the party. Around that time, Akufo had not even been considered. Okay, so now look at the trajectory. Look at how he's come, how far he's come.
Yeah.
He gave in to Akufo Afterwards, he contested with President Akufo Addo. And after Akufo Addo, we saw how he contested also with
these are the 2007 primaries.
Yes,
yes. Strong showing.
Yes.
So
yes.
that buttresses the point you're making.
So he's not an infant. And let me say this. People don't know, but I know what I'm talking about. In the lead up, the NPP itself has got its own tradition. How leaders or successors are selected. Okay? How successors are selected. They have it. It appears that this time round they decided to deviate, from that that succession, practice that they have over the years, resorted to. But the point is this: people don't know the Alan. Let me put it this way: Alan was very, very, very popular among the top echelons and even the grassroots of the party in the lead up to their own primaries. The first one and the second one. The first one was to sieve the numbers to 5 and then bring it. It was very, very popular. But people do not know what happened, the day before the primaries that sieved the number to 5. I know what
something happened.
Yeah, a lot of things happened. That's how I'll put it. And let me conclude briefly on that by saying that the day we will be able to address treating, the day we'll be able to address election resource purchases, the day we'll be able to address what is popularly described as monetization or moneycracy in our electoral politics, we'll be able to appreciate who rightly is the preferred choice or who the people who are election makers really like to lead. But so long as we continue to grapple with the issues of moneycracy, the choice of the people would always be difficult to be ascertained. Because you can see clearly that this is the choice of the people, but last minute, things happen and things can change. And I am so worried that we are on a certain tangent in our democratic practice, such that if you have money, you should be able to do anything. You should be able to win elections. And democracy that is about the choice of the people, democracy that talks about the expression of the sovereign will, appears to now be for sale to the highest bidder. And it is unfortunate. But moving away from that, let me make the point again that I've seen what Musa Dankwa has done, how he thinks that Alan will fare. But I want to make the point that, look, it will be an error in judgment for anybody.
This is history. It's not a reflection of the current. This is just what happened in 2024.
2024.
Yes,
okay.
As you see it.
Yeah, okay. So, but it will be an error of judgment on the part of anybody to say that, look, we should not give, an attempted third force seeker a dog chance. Because, like I said, things are evolving. And the fact that over the years, people who wanted to lead as third force have performed abysmally cannot mean or does not mean that things cannot change. Because for the first time, we had a hung parliament. For the first time, we have a ruling party that is dominating parliament with 2/3 majority. It tells you that we are still evolving. And like Martin said, people have now grown to appreciate the fact that the conduct of politics and people who seek to, it is not a big deal when you see people who are parading themselves as our leaders. They are also human beings, and sometimes there are people who have not joined politics who are better qualified than people who are joining politics and people who are seeking to lead. And so gradually, if you speak to people, people are thinking that, so why don't we all also join to help improve the lot, of our people? So it cannot be said that we should be relegating some people to the background simply because of our duopoly. I mean, with time, if things are changing, with time, you'll be seeing some of these third forces also springing up. And then, like Martin...
Alfred, maybe just a quick, just 30 seconds.
Quickly.
You see, I didn't do political science. He's a professor in that field. I think we should clarify a few things. You can have a third force. There's no question. But we should also appreciate that politics is also a function of time and moment. And so it is easier to have a situation where somebody emerges out of the moment for a cause than a grouping to emerge suddenly. So it was unthinkable within a certain period to look at an Obama emerging within the democratic space, within that space. But it was just a question of moment. Then there was an Obama, and then there was a phenomenon, and then it fizzled. Okay. You understand? So you can have UP coming in. The only thing significant really is that it reminds us, and maybe we should also find out why did we have a UP in the past?
Okay.
Well, and whether it is politically relevant today that we can have something coming out of the divided party.
Okay.
I think that's...
So,
gentlemen, hold on. No, I'll give you... all right. So here's how this is going to end.
Yes.
You would cap it all up because I started...
Fantastic.
All right. So just to conclude, I mean, I don't have much to say on this particular issue, just to make the point, emphasize the point that it will be judgment error for anybody to think that we would not ever have a potent third force that can upset the duopolistic practice, within our fourth republic kind of democratic practice. Things are evolving, and so you'll be living in a fool's paradise if you think that, it's always NDC, NPP. And like Martin said, no ruling party maintains its goodwill in perpetuity. You may have all the goodwill like the NDC has now, but in the next election, if it was 100%, you are sure that it would reduce to about 90%. And in the reduction, people may be thinking about the other parties. As for the NPP, and their chances in the next elections, I mean, I think it's been discussed. If I were them, we spend much time restructuring and repositioning yourself, but it appears that they've gone beyond advice. So nowadays, we don't even want to publicly advise them. We leave them on their own and let's see. But we pray that we are able to strengthen our political parties such that we would give true meaning to multi-party democratic practice as enshrined in our constitution. In political science, when we say that a country is a multi-party democracy, it means that you have more than two political parties of more or less equal strength, such that in any major electoral contestation, it becomes difficult for one party to win an election with clear majority without the support of other parties. But it appears that in our part of the world, since 1992, even though we have had so many political parties, we are not like Mali that has at one point in time had 1 or 4 political parties. Even though we've had many political parties, essentially or practically, we are becoming more and more of a two-party state, such that one party can win elections without the support of the other parties. And I'm praying that we should strengthen our political parties and encourage third forces to also to be emerging, so that we can give true meaning to multi-party democratic practice, such that NDC should not be able to win convincingly without appealing to the other parties. NPP, should not be able to win an election without.
Into a coalition.
Thank you.
Well, but that is what happens in multi-party democratic. That is what happens in multi-party democratic practices. So that we are sure that you don't have people just going to form political parties just for the fun of it. People form political parties not just because of the ultimate objective of capturing political power, but because of other frivolous, reasons,
which we have seen in the past. Some parties spring up only when we are going into elections.
Today, I want to try to situate my presentation in history, political history, and in maths. My maths is not good. Is yours good? Is yours better? Okay, we'll do that. When you do that, I can state without any hesitation and any equivocation that this new UP Plus will have zero and an infinitesimal impact on the NDC NPP duopoly.
They will have what?
Zero impact. Zero. Infinitesimal. It will not happen.
Infinitesimal.
Infinitesimal, yes. I hope that I pronounced the word well. I also state that the ultimate objective of this party is not to win power. It's not to become... No. The ultimate objective is to hurt His Excellency Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia and to prevent Bawumia coming. This is a party that was conceived by the hatred and the dislike of Bawumia, not by any political ideology. If you want to understand what I'm saying and understand, I'm not a soothsayer, but sometimes I do this, you must ask yourself a question. Have you ever heard of President Kweku Robe? Have you ever heard of President Kwaku Annan? Have you ever heard of President Guzitano? Have you ever heard of President, what's his name? In fact, just put it there, President Obed Asamoah. You've never heard about them. The history has told you, and there's a reason why you've not heard about them. They all have one thing in common. At one point in time, they belong to a political party. And then, due to various reasons, mostly associated with successions, presidential successions, they left their home, they left the mothership. And whenever they left the mothership, they perished. Again, that is what the history has told us, that whenever they leave the mothership, in this case, when you leave your main political party and you go somewhere, you perish. You perish because when you leave your own political party and you go somewhere, people see you as selfish, people see you as greedy, and people see you as unprincipled. And precisely because of that, they punish you. So let's go. I just want to do something quickly, small. Like, you've already done it for me. That's what I'm saying. You've done my whole presentation for me. But I want to zero in on one person in particular, Dr. Kwaku Annan.
This man.
Dr. Kwaku Annan. When Akufo came in and preached his all-inclusive government, he brought Kwaku Annan. And Kwaku Annan was one of the most stellar performers in the Akufo administration, no matter what you see. First, it was charge of public sector reforms, then later energy, and almost all the reforms you've seen in the energy sector, he brought them. Excellent, wonderful performer. Then he left, went back to his mother party, which was the CPP, contested the 2008, was it 2008? Yes. And he got almost 114,000 votes. That was what he got in the CPP, almost 140,000 votes. Placing about 1.3 or 1.7 there, about 1.7% of the total vote. Yes, you want to see that. Then something happened. Also, because of succession problems, he left, formed his own Progressive People Party. And you want to see, his performance in the next election was abysmal. He dropped, just by a small, I tried to do some rudimentary maths here. I think he lost about 50,000 votes and fell down to from 1.7 to, you have it at 0.59. So when he was so, in fact, if you see it, he was better off on the mothership, on the CPP.
Kwaku Annan was better off
on the mothership,
CPP
than when he went up. And that has come to define. Recuperate the same thing. When he was with the NPP, he left and came. History has told us that the voters humiliated him. The voters humbled him. We've seen that. Guzitano, the same thing. And the same thing with Alan Chamata. You want to understand. The thing is that Breku Brobe could have an excuse. what's his name? Pakistan could have excuse because before this time, none of them had run in the primary, in the national primary before, but Alan had. So Alan had national experience of running in national primary because he contested Akufo Addo in the 2007 primary. He also contested other primaries. So by the time Alan was breaking away, he should have come with all the pluses that you need: name recognition, face recognition, national exposure, because he's done that. He went around the whole country campaigning. But look at the results that he got in the 2024 elections. Numbers don't lie. This is not about numbers. Despite all that, I want you to understand, it was in 2027 that he became Alan Cash, and everybody, in fact, became so popular that he was using a song, right? Sarkodie had a song, Alan Cash.
So the Alan Cash was from 2008.
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to make a point that he had national recognition, so much so that pop stars were using his name in their production. And then what happened when he faced the voters?
0.3%.
So it tells you something. That's what I'm saying today. So if you are, what's the name, into betting, and you ask yourself, where should you put your money? I'm saying just look at the numbers. Look at the numbers alone and look at the history. Nobody who bets will want to put your money there because you know where it happened. The history of Pakistan, Indum, the history of all these people tell you that it doesn't happen. In fact, the motto in this country is, you better together. Because Ghanaian voters are aspirational voters. And so now that's why, again, the data is, Musa Darko was making the point about the floating voters, or the voters, and even Ashanti. Again, the Pakistan Indum story and Alan story also merge some way. When Pakistan Indum was leaving, the idea was that he would take the central region votes. That he was more popular in central region. And so this idea was that, and remember, central region is one of the floating regions in the country. So if you capture central region, you cause a lot of harm to both the NDC and the NPP. So the idea was that, he will capture the central region vote and become powerful. It never happened. A similar narrative will be forcefully fed, that if Alan leaves, he will capture the Ashanti region votes, denying the NPP serious oxygen in the region that they need. Again, you can see it. And as the data doesn't lie at all. The data, they also tell that it doesn't happen. And there's a reason. Voters like to think that the voters want their vote to count. The only way your vote can count is that that's why they look at candidates that they think are promising, candidates that I think can win. And so they can like you, they're like, can you win? Can this guy win? And that's why sometimes you see that sometimes, even in poll letters, there's something called break. There can be a major break for a candidate when something happens and now you cannot win. A similar thing happened between Trump and Hillary Clinton in the run-up to US elections, when Cuomo released that data that said that they are reinvestigating. That singular... Comey, yes. That singular act made voters, special floating voters,
October to remember.
October to remember. In fact, the October surprise is etched in the US electoral history. That incident made voters say, if this, because remember, there was a narrative that Hillary was crooked.
And she was hiding.
She was hiding things.
She was using the private
emails. So the moment James Comey said, we've seen this, the voters bought it. And they didn't want to waste their vote. So the point, that's what you are beginning to see. So I'm saying that for this one, it's not just about history. It's not just about politics. It's about history. It's about data, and it's about what we call, if you look at it, it's a trend. If you do a trend analysis.
Well, you for the NPP, UP Plus, some have described as a direct threat to you. You say that you rather see the formation of this UP Plus as out of bitterness and not necessarily to win elections.
Yes.
Why?
Because look, political history is important, but so many of the people voting today are not students of history. Even if they are students of history, they understand this. The UP Plus was, as some say, one of the most antagonistic to people of the CPP. So if you're an old school politician...
You mean the UP?
The UP, sorry, the UP. So if you're an old school politician and you still believe in this thing, you have a problem right there. The NDC tells you some of their roots come from Nkrumahist. So that's why there are so many Nkrumahist, they find themselves very comfortable. That's also because you are looking at the ideological divide in Ghana. And if it assumes left-right ideological platform in Ghana, the center-left is dominated by in fact, the NDC has cannibalized the CPP on the center-left. So if you're already a center-left politician and you have the NDC, you are not looking for another center-left. if you're looking at the center-right tradition in Ghana, the NPP occupies that position strongly. So there's no other. So if yours is an ideological argument, if yours is an ideological analysis, you are comfortable with the center-left, you have the NDC there. If yours is a center-right, you're comfortable, you have the NPP there. So on what basis? And that's the point I'm making, that the data keeps telling us, all over, the data keeps telling us that this does not happen. And it's data I'm talking about, just data and the history.
So Solo, the diagnosis of Dr. Zato is that the formation of your party is out of bitterness, essentially, for the NPP. You don't want to win an election. You are just out there to get the NPP. But it says data shows that's not going to happen.
First of all, if I were to ask, or I was to ask Zato to define what bitterness is, it will be very difficult this month. He's just using word anyhow. Yes, bitterness.
Say he can define it.
How is he going to define bitterness? He did join the NPP because
the university professor this question.
what is the definition of bitterness?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so
Let me give him 30 seconds.
well, is bitterness a term of art?
That is what I want to understand.
Bitterness is because Alan has been thinking that he has
No, what is your definition?
Oh, I'm telling you in this context. He's thinking that was the heir apparent. He's the big man who has been there for all of a sudden. This small Pepini Kramofo Akwadawe Abebitino. So he's like, how can me, this big Alan Chamenton, Alan Cash, sit down and allow this small.
So that's
that is the bitterness. That's the thing.
Bitterness.
And so he cannot come to them that. That is what I mean by what? Bitterness and jealousy of the UP.
In the last primaries in Sisala East, where my brother took part.
I lost massively, yes.
I'm coming. Don't go there. This morning, I have time for everything.
Okay.
When he lost graciously, he stood before the people and said he had even left the NPP. Was it bitterness?
That's a lie.
Me a lie?
That's a lie.
How did you transition from your Sisala East to Nandom? Is it Nandom? Nandom is Upper West, right?
Okay.
Why did you transition from Sisala East to Nandom?
No,
you stopped even playing the politics of Sisala East to Nandom. Was it bitterness?
Okay, thank you.
So
can I answer the question? No, I don't hold it. You cannot ask me a question. You cannot ask me. I have never been to anywhere to do politics apart from Sister Lace. You know what happened? In 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020, I wasn't in this country. I never registered to vote. I was in Canada.
If you like, I challenge you to open your phone lines and let the people of London call in.
Okay, hold on.
I'm telling you, I wasn't in this country.
Okay, wait.
It's not an in-house thing. No, don't make it. So I want to know. We don't know each other. We don't know each other. So let me explain. Thank you. So in 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, I wasn't in this country. I didn't register. Good. Then what happened is, when I came to contest the primaries,
okay,
the argument was that people said somebody sent me. Yes, I'll tell you. People said that Honorable Ambrose Derry, who is my in-law, had sent me to come and contest in Saleh to defeat somebody that he had a conflict with, Honorable Chinya. And so they told the people that there's a reason why, that's why I didn't come to vote into this decision. But they didn't tell the people that the reason I didn't vote in this thing is because I was not around. They told them that I was voting in Nandom. They told us, and I can tell you today, I'll put my PhD on the line. Solo, get the voters register from any of these constituencies, Nandom, and see whether you can see my name, Dr. Joshua Jebunte Zato, on it. If you see it, I will relinquish my PhD.
Thank you.
So you have confirmed that people associated with Nandom.
He's explained that.
It's sufficient enough.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right.
Now let me say that
Okay. No. Quick one.
Let me say something, Mr. Host, please.
This, you know my name.
Mr. Okanse, Nene, Akofi, Alfred, please. This is key points. I'm saying this is key points.
Indeed.
So let us go by the rules as we have established here, as we have evolved over the years, of key points. It's not that kind of, let us stick to the issues. That's all I want to say.
So the first point is that our party was not formed based on any bitterness. We are a group of men and women that believes that this country has gotten to the point that we need another political party to win power, political power to change the course of governance. this business of data. Data is good, yes, but it's history. In election 2028, every political party will be starting from point zero. We will not say, or the Electoral Commission will not say that you have 55% in election 2024, and so that is where your starting point. We are all going to start from zero. When we formed the movement for change in 2023, mind you, Alfred, we are confusing issues. Mr. Alan Kyeremanteng contested as an independent candidate.
Right.
Not on the ticket of any political party. What it meant was that he did not have the benefit of parliamentary candidates in all the 275 constituencies who could have worked for him. He did not have constituency executive, polling station executive, regional executives, national executives as a vehicle that you could ride on to win more votes. And so you could be right. Mind you, the movement that we brought was movement for change. What were we looking for? We thought that the NPP was mismanaging this country. And so we needed to distance ourselves and fight for the change of this country. The people of this country accepted the idea of a change, but they said, look, it was not your time, so the NDC benefited from it. And the data is showing. When you are interpreting data, you have to find out why all of a sudden there was a huge drop in votes in the Asante region. That should give you an indication. Now, this idea that whether you like it or not, there is NDC and NPP cannot hold. Because you see, if we are to go into even the football arena, when we started our football in this country, the Ghana football, from the 1956, if you had asked anybody who had been following football from even the 70s and told the person that a time will come, Kotoko and Haas, you will not be finding them in the first two, nobody would have believed you. Mm-hmm. In today's Ghana, we play Premier League and Kotoko and Haas struggles to even occupy the 4th and 5th position. Because of the same mindset that, oh, as for us, whatever you do, we will still win. And so they started doing anything anyhow. The UP has come with a strategy. Say organization decides everything. If our coming was not impactful or it was not going to have any impact, I'm not too sure you will have the MP for Wale Wale, Kabiru, go and sit on TV and say that they are already threatening a legal action against the name.
Well, they said that there's an attempt to dilute the history of the NPP, and so they're going to court on the strength of Section 10 of the Political Parties Act.
We will meet them there, but I would be very surprised. I mean, we have lawyers, and we will meet them there. But the point is that, contrary to the view of Zato that it is going to have a zero effect, zero impact, zero everything, his own a member of his party, who is a member of parliament coming from Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia's hometown, is already threatening. Though I have not heard any of the lawyers make that point, but he, as an economist, is saying that he's going to court. Why? Because his view is that we have touched the heart and soul of the NPP. That's number one. Number two, already their second vice chair is insulting Mr. Alan Kyeremanteng, cursing him. That why has he gone for the soul of the party? As we speak, if you go to the Asante region, and I'm speaking on authority, that all those that were very much affiliated to the UP have said that their party has come.
They said their party has
come. They have been waiting for the UP all this while. So if you have Zato sitting down here and say that's going to have zero effect, I can only leave him to glorify in the very things that he believes in. We are very much focused. We are going to start grassroots mobilization, mobilize from the polling stations to the constituencies, to the region, to the national. Sell our message to them, the message of hope, unity, the message of transformation. Give it to the people of this country, and let's go into election 2028 and see the candidate they are bringing. In any case, I don't see how you can equate even the whole entire NPP to Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia. I don't think so. I don't think that those that are contesting will even be happy with you. So there is nothing of bitterness. It is pure political pluralism. We believe that Ghana needs more parties to, as it were, advance our democratic cause, and we are doing just that. And I believe that as he's wearing yellow today, which is our party color, maybe the way he's able to transform within a short space of time, he will join our political party and he will be welcomed.
Dr. Zad, you are expecting that Dr. Zaddo will join your party? the UP plus.
If you saw how he insulted the people who voted against him during the last election, I wouldn't be surprised that he joined us.
On that path of the bitterness you refer to, I think it will be fair to have Dr. Zato retract that earlier.
Absolutely.
Description of I'm coming of what, in his view, bitterness is, and some words that were used to describe Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia, which he says in his mind is the bitterness Alan is feeling. Dr. Zato.
I used words saying that I was him as a small but penny. I withdraw those.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.